So when you have a number, 3 divided by 4, you can add as many zeros as you want. You have infinite supplies of zeros. Again, the key is making sure that number is a whole number.
That is the denominator.
Correct. That number has to be a whole number. If it's a 5.1, we're going to take care of it. You'll see that in a minute. So now let's divide. The first thing you want to do is move that decimal point up here. And pretend it's not even down here now. Can you divide 3 by 4? No. Can we divide 30 by 4? 7. 7 times 4 is what? 28. What's the remainder? 2. Bring that 0 down. 20 divided by 4? 5. 5 times 4? The remainder is 0. Now, the rest of these is going to produce what here? 0, 0, 0, 0. So once you have a 0, then you stop, and your answer is 0.75.
That is the rule.
Yep, you want to make sure that number is a whole number. So if it's not a whole number, I'll give you an example. What do we do? Well, let's take one that's not a whole number. W 1.5 divided by 0.25. Now notice the bottom is not a whole number. See that? We said you need to make sure, because this number is actually your bottom number here. You need that number to be a whole number. Is this a whole number? No. So how do we make that a whole number? Now what will happen to that if I move that decimal point 2 places to the right? Becomes a 25. But if I move the bottom 2 places to the right, I got to move the top how many places to the right? 2 to the right. So the numbers become what? 150 divided by what? 25. Is that number a whole number now in the bottom? Now I can divide them. So let's go to the side. 150 divided by 25. Again, there's a decimal point here if we need it and lots of zeros. I have no idea if we need them or not. But just to be on the safe side, I'll just say it's going to be up here. I'll move it up in case I need it. And there's all these zeros. Can I divide 1 by 25? No. Can I divide 15 by 25? No. 150 by 25. Could it be 6? 6 times 5? 30. 6 times 2? 12 and 3. And what's the remainder? 0, right? So 6 or 6 point. You don't need to put the point. What's the answer? 6. Let's try another one. Zero point 0.035 divided by 0.25. I don't like the page is dirty here. Let's flip it there. 0.035 divided by 0.25. This number again has to be a whole number, because if you write that number right now, it looks like this, 0.035 over 0.25. And notice it's not a whole number. Not. So how do we make it a whole number? Move the decimal point how many places? This one. Okay, that's to make it a whole number. 3 to make this one a whole number, but I don't care about that one. That's the one I care about. So how many places? 2 to the right, right? If I go 2 places to the right, I got to move this 2 places to the right. So the question becomes, what is 3.5 divided by what? 25.
Excuse me.
Yes.
With the 0 in front of the 3.
Yep.
When you are moving to 2 places, you don't count them?
I did. 1, 2. Yeah, you can't ignore that 0. That's why the decimal point is right here. If I didn't count it, the decimal point would be right there.
So why is it that when you are writing, you didn't bring the 0, 3.5?
This 0 here?
Yeah.
This 0 is useless, the one in the front of the decimal point. Notice that 0 in front of the decimal point, the 0 in front of this one, you don't need it because you can write that 0.035 divided by 0.25. So a leading 0 in front of the decimal point, has no significance. And now I'm going to divide them. Again, keep in mind there's a lot of zeros if we need them. I just don't put them, or the book doesn't put them. Can you divide 3 by 25? No. Can we divide 35 by 25? 1. 1 times 25? 25. What's the remainder? 1, right? Or 10? 1, 0. Now bring that 0 down. What is 100 by 25? 4 times 25? 100. The remainder is 0. So what is my answer? 0.14 again, or you can write it without the 0.14. Let's try another one. A little more, actually. .2 divided by 0.7. Again, if you go to divide them, it looks like this: 40.2, 0.7. Again, what do you notice? That this number, not a whole number. To make it a whole number, move it how many places? 1. And if you move this one, you got to move this one how many places? 1. So it turns out this problem becomes what? 402, and there's a decimal point, there's lots of zeros if you need them, divided by 7. Four by 7, can't do. 40 by 7. Is it 5? 5 times 7? 35. Could it be a 7? 7 times 7? 49. Bring that 0 down now. 4. 4 times 7, 28. Bring that 0 down. 20 by 7. 4. 2. 2 times 7, 14. 6. Bring another 0. There's more zeros. 60 by 7. 8. 8 times 7, 56, right? The remainder is 40. Or 4. Bring another 0 down. So you can see this number goes on and on. Uh-oh. So that number keeps going on and on. So they're probably going to tell you round your answer in this case because it keeps going on and on. They might say, give me the answer nearest hundredth, for example. If they say nearest hundredth, what's the result? 57 point, try again, 4, 3. Nearest hundredth. This will be the hundredth. Because the first one is the tenth, then hundredth. Tenth, hundredth, thousandth. This is the hundredth. You look at that digit. 5 or more, you add 1 to this. It is more than 5, so it becomes 0.43. If they say nearest thousandth, I need to go one more place because I don't know what happens after that. If that's going to be 5 or more or what. So sometimes that number goes on and on and on. It doesn't end. So let's have fun and pull one that combines all the stuff that we learned. Here we go. Let's pull one. I have 9.13 divided by parentheses 0.2. You don't need the parentheses, but we put them there too. Plus 4.6 squared. We have more than one operation. The order of operations, PEMDAS. Do we have any parentheses? Not really, because that's just a number. You can't simplify what's inside the parentheses. Do we have any exponents? Yes. This one. So I got to find the answer to that first. I got to do this one first. So let's go to the side. 4.6 times 4.6. We're going to pretend there's no decimal points there. Let's multiply them. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 4 and 3, 27. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 4 and 2, 6. 4 and 7 is what? 11. 11, 2. How many digits to the right of the decimal point here? 1. How many here? So when you add them, what do we have? 2. So your decimal point is going to be here. We have 1 and 1 in each one. So the answer to this piece first is 21.16 plus 9.13 divided by what? 0.2. Let's continue with the order of operations. Parentheses done, exponents done. Do we have any multiplications or divisions? We have divisions. We're going to do this one next. Let's go to the side and divide them. 9.13 divided by 0.2. Uh-oh. You see the problem here. It's not a whole number. Move the decimal point how many places? One. And move this one. So it becomes what? 91.3 divided by 2. Bring that decimal point up here. 9 by 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 11 by 2, 5. 5 times 2, which is what? 10. Bring that 3 down. 13 by 2, 6. 6 times 2, 12. What's the remainder? 1. Keep in mind there's a 0 here, lots of zeros. What is 10 by 2? 5 times 2, 10. So the answer to this piece now, it's 45.65. I want to add to it 21.16. And what's the last operation? Add these guys. When you add them, you line up what? The decimal point? Six and 5, 11. 1 and 5, 6. 2 and 4, 6. 66.81.